crazy mother. What it do? Soul visionaries and potential soul visionaries out there. I am your host, Raccoon, and you are now rocking with the mobile version of the Soul Vision Powercast. You know that place where we keep it unfiltered and raw. We talk about anything from porn to politics, and we even talk about the things you might have heard or even saw. Hey man, today I want to talk about how folks want to take what you're saying and turn it into something else. You know, I've always told people, your perception, my intention. You know, when folks talk to folks, just say we're talking about something musically or athletes or whatever, and we don't agree. You know, I may say, oh man, you know, I'm not a Michael Jordan fan. Oh, you a hater. It's automatically you get this label as a hater. It's like I just can't not like the motherfucker because I'm a straight up Piston fan. I'll never deny that the man was not, good at his craft. I'll never deny that. But I'm a bad boy, bro. I'm a Isaiah Thomas, Lambert, Rick Mahorn. You know, when Robin was with the pick, I'm that guy. I'm a Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, Chauncey Billups, Tayshaun guy. You know what I'm saying? So you're not going to find me hyping up Kobe. You're not going to find me hyping up LeBron. But I'll never hate on who they are as basketball players. I respect LeBron a whole lot because of his philanthropic work on the outside. But, you know, hey, it is what it is. You know, folks love to take what you say and try to distort it and make it something else. You know, you might perceive it as one way. You know, case in point, you get online, people put out a narrative, you push against the narrative. All of a sudden, you're angry or you're defensive. It's like, wow. So basically, I'm supposed to just let you say whatever it is to me that you want to say and be happy with it. I can't push back. You know, if I'm not insulting you, if I'm not coming at you in a way where I'm threatening you or whatnot, you know, it's like, no, I just don't agree with what you're saying. You know, and just the mere fact that before you even say anything, folks are already in their mind, they're labeling what you're going to say. You know what I'm saying? And those are the things that get me. I just wonder, when did we get to this point where, you know, we just can't dislike something without it being called hate? When can't we just disagree without it? Oh, you're being defensive. We just can't have normal conversations. You know, we're in the state. We're in a day and time where people don't even want to have regular conversations with one another. Hey, I just want to text you. I feel easier texting. What kind of shenanigans is that? I mean, we're mature adults. We're supposed to be able to sit down and have a conversation with one another, and this and that and the other. You know, if you're one of those individuals that's too sensitive to have conversations with people, it's like, I think you need to check who you are. You need to check yourself. Because when you're talking to somebody and you have a disagreement with somebody, yeah, expect for them to give you pushback. If I put something out, like when I put something out here, I don't expect people to agree with everything that I'm saying. I don't automatically say, oh, y'all hating on me, or, you know, y'all mad. I don't know if you're mad or not. I don't. Unless you tell me or you insult me or something like that, I just keep it to where you just disagree with what I say. You know, I like to have conversations with folks. I like to have open discussions with folks, because when I do that, that means, hey, I get to learn something. It may not be applicable at that moment, but I may be able to use it down the line. I may not agree with you, but at least I have a better understanding of who you are. You know, we've got, as a society, it's funny that we live in a very passive-aggressive society. And one breath, you know, we're very overly sensitive about stuff, and then in another breath, oh man, we'll chop your head off. You know, it's like, I can, you know, you got these certain people that I can be angry, I can dislike something, but you can't. And that's weird to me, man. very weird society. It's lopsided. We just want to uplift one group of people and not the other. If you want to have a great culture, great society, great neighborhood, you uplift everybody at the same time. We're failing as a society because we don't have that. We don't have love for one another. We don't have respect. Everything has to be transactional. This is a crazy world we live in, man. Crazy. And to watch people worship those with money and those like the Jeff Bezos. Well, I'm not gonna say Jeff Bezos as much as yeah, but let's say him. He came with Amazon. Amazon is crushing all the brick and mortar stores. They're coming with the AI stuff. Then the dude from Shark Tank with his data centers. Y'all worship these very people that's killing our society. They're taking away jobs. We got to get back to just basic human morality, basic human value, integrity, dignity. If I disagree with a woman, all of a sudden it's, oh, you hate women. No, I just disagree with what they said. I'm not going to give any personal judgment against anybody until you do something that's personal to me. Until you do something that I deem unfit, to respect. Y'all have gotten to the point where, and I look at men, and men are really pushing this narrative because a lot of you guys out there, man, y'all really don't believe the words that y'all are actually saying. You just know if I tell these women whatever they want to hear, I'll get a great following. That following can lead to my numbers being boosted up on social media. If my numbers are boosted up on social media, then I'll get sponsorship, checks, whatever. A lot of you all do not actually believe the words that you're saying to women. Y'all don't believe that women, I'm going to be this provider and this and that and the other. Y'all don't believe that. I mean, man, I guarantee you, there's nobody that's more abusive than the man that comes with all that slick talk. There are a bunch of snake oil salesmen out here. A lot of wolves in sheep's clothing. But that's who y'all like, though. Y'all want somebody to just tell y'all whatever y'all want to hear. You don't want to hear the truth. You don't want to hear a person's actual thoughts. You want to hear the thoughts that you like or want to hear. And I gotta give it to them. These guys out here on some pimping one-on-one. They got y'all in the palm of their hand. All I have to do is go against other men, label all men bad, give women all the credit and none of the blame, and I can grow my channel. I refuse to do it. Because, as we all know, not all women are good women, are good people, period. All men aren't good people. I don't defend all men. I speak up for the men that, hey, we're out here trying to just live a life, be the best people we can possibly be for everybody, for our society as a whole. Trying to make sure that, hey, our kids, our grandkids, the people around us, they got somebody they can depend on. But the narrative have been painted, especially against black men. The narrative is that, oh, y'all ain't shit, this, that, and the other, y'all abusive, y'all rapists, y'all creeps, y'all. But we're supposed to sit here and just take it all. We're supposed to sit here and just let you all just flambe us. Just kick us in the face every day on social media. And it's so funny to me that, when men start pushing back, now all of a sudden folks are tired of the argument, the big back and forth. Well, why didn't y'all nip it in the bud when women were dogging men out all the time? Y'all wasn't. Y'all didn't push back against that. I have to assume, in order for me to agree that all men in a woman's life was bad, I have to think that she's telling the truth. And a lot of these people online, I don't know. So if I don't hear both sides of the story, I'm just like, okay, well, hey, there's her side, there's his side, and then there's the actual truth. Because we all perceive things differently. Some of us do it, with the intent on misleading the folks on the outside looking in. The others do it because that's just exactly how we saw it, or how they saw it. But hey, it's interesting. It's an interesting time we live in because, the diminishing value of men is being pushed by other men, which is baffling to me. These self-deprecating ass niggas out here. Oh, look at me. I'm the kind of guy you can trust, and this and that and the other. And honestly, it's interesting for me to watch women fall for. I like seeing it because it just proves my point that women love the bad guy. The bad guys usually villains. Look at all the movies, because they say life. They ask questions: does life imitate art, or does art imitate life? And women tend to fall head over heels for the villain, because the villain got that, that pizzazz, that oomph to him, that letting his nuts hang. And the heroes are usually cornballs, usually really corny. And in real life, that's what women fall for. When I was growing up, guess what? Hey, y'all wanted the drug dealers. Y'all wanted, and then you got these young girls in college being polled. Hey, they want the scammers, the drug dealers. They don't want no 9-to-5 guy. They don't want a 9-to-5 guy. He's boring. And even when women say, oh no, I've never been into the drug dealer. I've never been into the criminals. But when you really sit down and get to know them, and you listen to them, violence does excite them. Violence excites them, and I'm gonna tell you how. If it's the kind of violence, just say, no, you don't want me violent towards you. But if I'm violent towards anybody else in honor of you, that just turn that turn them on. You know what I'm saying? You got some women out there that'll put their men in precarious situations just to see what kind of timing he's on, just to see if he is that guy. They'll do it deliberately. Hey man, I'm just saying, we just live in a strange time right now. To me, this is the bizarro world. But hey, I'm just the guy out here just seeing how things are going, and this is just my perception of the world. I'm quite sure you got a bunch of people out there that'll disagree with me. You got a bunch of people that will agree. But no matter how we do it, let's disagree respectfully. Let's disagree without the insults. Let's disagree without the insults. Let's disagree, with the thought in mind of coming to a solution on how we can actually fix things. You know what I mean? And the funny thing is just because we don't agree, that don't make you bad, or that doesn't make me bad. That just meant we disagreed on something. Instead of all the things that we have different, or we're different, but we're different, that make us different. Instead of concentrating on all of those things, let's concentrate on the things that we align with, that make us the same in some way, shape, or form. Let's focus on those things. And I hate to tell people that, because I've been told, well, you push a negative message. Being positive doesn't mean that it's always going to feel good. positive doesn't mean that I just tell you all the nice things. I just tell you just the things that make you feel better. Because you can be negative but sound positive. You can just give a feel-good message, but does that person become better? Do they get better? That's what I would love to tell. I want people to understand. Just because a message sounds positive, that don't mean that it is. Because a lot of times what happens with the men that you all complain about is that, hey, they was raised by a mom that coddled him, enabled him to be an ain't shit dude. So, I don't know, man. It's just my rant. I'm on the road. I'm driving, just driving and thinking. Hey, but you know what, man? If y'all have any comments, put it down below. I would love for y'all to like, share, and subscribe, man. Let's get this dialogue going, man. Let's kick it. Let's stop being afraid to say what's on our mind, and let's say whatever we say. Let's do it with respect. Let's do it with the intention of solving some issues together, coming up with solutions. Hey, it's 2026. We still up in the mix, and I'm gonna rise and fly with you guys, man. I'm gonna rise and fly with you. Hey, it's 2026. We still up in the mix, and we gonna rise and fly.